Hello and welcome back to the Practical English Podcast. My name is Mike.
And I'm Angela. We're so glad you joined us today.
We are indeed. Today we're diving into one of the most fundamental, most used, and most important tenses in English.
That's right. We are talking about the past simple tense. You probably use it every single day, maybe without even thinking about it.
Exactly. It's how we talk about our weekends, what we did at work, the movie we saw last night. It's all about finished actions in the past. So today we're going to break it down, look at the rules, and of course, give you plenty of practical examples.
So let's start with the absolute basics. What is the past simple for? The main use, as you said, Mike, is to talk about actions that started and finished at a specific time in the past.
Right. The key word there is finished. The action is over. It's done. For example, I ate breakfast this morning. I finished my breakfast. The morning is over. It's a completed action.
Exactly. Or she visited Paris in 2019. Her trip to Paris started and ended in 2019. It's a specific, completed event.
So how do we form it? Well, there's good news and there's, let's call it, challenging news. The good news is for regular verbs. For most verbs in English, you just add ed to the end of the base verb.
So the verb walk becomes walked. Play becomes played. Watch becomes watched. For example, yesterday I walked to the park.
Last weekend, we played board games.
He watched a documentary last night. It's pretty straightforward for these regular verbs. Of course, there are some small spelling rules. If a verb already ends in E, like live or dance, you just add D.
Right, so live becomes lived, dance becomes danced. And if a verb ends in a consonant plus Y, like study or cry, you change the Y to an I and add ed.
Studied and cried. Yes, these are minor points, but good to remember.
Okay, so that's the good news, the regular verbs. Now for the challenging part, Angela, the irregular verbs.
Ah, yes, the rebels of the English language. Irregular verbs don't follow the ED rule. They do their own thing. Their past simple forms are completely different and, unfortunately, they just have to be memorized.
And the tricky thing is that many of the most common verbs in English are irregular. Think about go. The past simple is not goed, it's went.
Exactly. Or see. It's not seed, it's saw.
What about eat, Angela?
The past of eat is ate. I ate a sandwich for lunch.
And the verb to be is a very special irregular verb. In the present, it's am, is, are. In the past, it has two forms, was and were.
Right. You use was for I, he, she, and it. I was tired, he was late, and you use were for you, we, and they. You were right, they were at the party.
This can be overwhelming for learners. Do you have any tips for remembering all these irregular verbs?
Absolutely. My first tip is don't try to learn them all at once. Start with the most common ones. You can find lists online of the top 20 or 50 irregular verbs. Focus on those first.
That's a great point. Verbs like go, have, do, say, get, make, see, you use them constantly.
Another tip is to group them. Some irregular verbs follow patterns. For example, sing, sang, sung is similar to ring, rang, rung, and drink, drank, drunk. Finding these little families can make them easier to remember.
Oh, that's smart, like buy, bought, and bring, brought.
Exactly. And my final tip is the most important one. Use them. Don't just look at lists. Create sentences about your own life. Write down 3 things you did yesterday. I went to the supermarket, I bought milk, I made dinner. This active practice is what makes the words stick.
That makes so much sense. Okay, let's move on to another crucial area, making questions and negative sentences in the past simple. Those are great tips, Angela. That idea of grouping verbs is really helpful. You mentioned buy, bought, and bring, brought. Are there any other common groups that learners should look out for?
Yes, and for this, we need a special helper verb. That verb is did.
Did is the star of the show here. Let's start with negatives. To say that something did not happen, the structure is subject plus did not plus the base form of the verb.
The base form. This is super important. We often say didn't in spoken English, which is the contraction of did not. So for the sentence, I watched the movie, the negative would be I didn't watch the movie.
Notice we say didn't watch, not didn't watched. The verb did already carries the past tense information, so the main verb goes back to its original or base form.
This is one of the most common mistakes learners make.
It really is. So for an irregular verb, like he went to the party, the negative is he didn't go to the party. We use go, not went.
Perfect. And what about questions, Mike?
It's a very similar idea. Our friend did comes to the front of the sentence. The structure is did plus subject plus the base form of the verb.
Right. So if the statement is you studied for the exam, the question becomes did you study for the exam?
Again, notice study, not studied. Let's try one with an irregular verb. The statement is they saw the new art exhibition. What's the question, Angela?
That would be, did they see the new art exhibition?
Excellent. And you can add question words like what, where, when, who, why, and how to the beginning to get more information. Where did you go on vacation? What time did she arrive? Why did they leave early?
The only exception here is the verb to be. It doesn't use did. For questions, you just invert the subject and verb. He was happy becomes was he happy? And for negatives, you just add not. They were not at home or they weren't at home.
A very important exception to remember. Okay, so we know what the past simple is for, and we know how to form positive statements, negative statements, and questions. Let's talk about when to use it.
Good idea. The past simple is almost always used with time expressions that signal a specific finished time.
Yeah, words that anchor the action in the past. Can you give us some examples?
Sure. The most common one is probably yesterday. I called my mother yesterday. You can also use last with a period of time, like last night, last week, last month, last year.
We flew to Spain last summer. Another really useful one is ago. You use it with a period of time to say how far in the past something happened. He graduated from college 3 years ago.
Right. She started her new job 2 weeks ago. You can also use in with a specific year, like the company opened in 1995, or on with a specific day, like the meeting happened on Monday.
These time expressions are like signposts. When you hear them, it's a very strong signal that you need to use the past simple tense.
It's a great way to think about it. The past simple is fantastic for storytelling, for recounting a sequence of events.
Totally. You can describe your day, for example. This morning, I woke up at 7. I made some coffee and checked my emails. Then I went for a run in the park. After that, I took a shower and got ready for work.
That's a perfect example. A series of completed actions, one after the other. Woke up, made, checked, went, took, got ready. All past simple. Okay, I think we've covered a lot of ground here. It feels like a good time for a quick summary. I agree. So key point number 1. Use the past simple for actions that started and finished at a specific time in the past. The action is 100% complete.
Key point 2. For regular verbs, you form the past simple by adding ed. For irregular verbs, you have to memorize their unique past forms.
Key point 3. To make negative sentences and questions, use the auxiliary verb did or didn't, followed by the base form of the main verb. Remember, he didn't go, not he didn't went.
And finally, key point 4. Look for those time signal words like yesterday, last week, and ago. They are your best friends when using the past simple.
That's a fantastic summary, Mike. And for all our listeners out there, our practical tip for this week is to do exactly what we talked about earlier. Tonight, before you go to sleep, take a piece of paper or open a note on your phone and write down 5 sentences in the past simple about what you did today.
That's the best way to practice. Make it personal. It will stick in your memory so much better.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. We hope you found this deep dive into the past simple tense helpful.
Thanks so much for listening to the Practical English Podcast. Join us next time when we'll be talking about phrasal verbs related to travel.
Ooh, that will be a useful one. Until then, keep practicing. Bye, everyone.
Bye.